What happens when the greatest hero is actually a living nightmare? You know, the claws. You know, the rage. But do you know the centuries of trauma that forged him? Today, we're not just talking about a mutant. We're diving into the tragic, brutal, and often beautiful quest for humanity of a man who is literally designed to be a weapon. Grab your favorite flannel, true believers, because we're slicing deep into the history of Wolverine. Welcome back to Marvel Echoes Resonance. I'm Will, and today we're talking about Logan. Now, like many of you, my Marvel journey started with the X-Men. You simply cannot talk about the X-Men without talking about the big, hairy, metal-clawed elephant in the room that is Wolverine. We often talk about origins being the foundation of a character's legacy. And for Wolverine, his entire legacy is defined by a paradox. He has an unbreakable skeleton, but his psyche is constantly being shattered. His origin wasn't revealed in one issue. It was unveiled piece by piece over decades, turning his past into the greatest mystery in Marvel Comics. Before he was Logan, he was just a sickly child named James Howlett, born in the late 19th century Alberta, Canada. As a father myself, I can't imagine the horror of a parent's faced with this life being shattered. After witnessing the murder of a man he thought was his father, James' mutant powers violently manifested. 3 bone claws erupted, which he then used to kill the groundskeeper, Thomas Logan. That trauma, that first act of violence, was the spark. He fled, adopted the name Logan, and his journey as a broken man began. This is the tragic truth finally revealed in the Origin Limited series. Logan spent the next several decades living as a shadowy soldier drifting across the globe. He was a creature of duty and violence, yet he always adhered to a fierce personal code of honor. We see glimpses of this when he fought alongside heroes like Captain America in World War II, at a time retroactively explored during Uncanny X-Men number 268. That shared history with Cap is crucial because it showed us there was always a moral core beneath the beast. Now we get to the core of the Wolverine Echo, the Weapon X program. This isn't just a backstory, it's the defining trauma that forever chains his genius to his pain. The government project was designed to create the perfect living weapon. They kidnapped Logan, put him through a brutal, dehumanizing process that bonded the indestructible metal adamantium to his entire skeleton. The whole scenario is like watching Darth Vader get put into his suit for the first time. It's not a power-up, it's the horror of the transformation. The process didn't just give him metal claws. It stripped him of his memories and created an uncontrollable berserker rage. This is key. Logan's identity isn't defined by how he gained his powers, but by the traumatic moment that changed his genius to a life of personal pain and public responsibility. His healing factor is a cruel paradox. It prevents him from ever forgetting the trauma, forcing him to live forever in what you would call an adamantium cage. After escaping Weapon X, he was found by the Canadian Department H, eventually leading to his first comic book appearance, crashing a fight between the Hulk and the Wendigo in the Incredible Hulk number 180. However, his true purpose came when Professor Charles Xavier found him. The X-Men became his first real family. On a team, he served his purpose. You had the disciplined leader Cyclops, and then you had the wild, unpredictable Logan. Their relationship became an ideological rivalry, but the team gave him a sense of belonging he hadn't had since the 1800s. He became a mainstream hero when he joined the Avengers in New Avengers number 1. This solidified his place not just as a mutant advocate, but a central figure in the entire Marvel universe. So we walked through the classic history, but you're probably asking, okay, where's Logan today? And after the adamantium and the X-Men drama, where is he now? Well, his journey has just begun. First, you need to understand that Logan's troubles didn't end with Weapon X. They got deeper. We're talking about a grand ancient conspiracy known as the Romulus Saga. This story revealed that Wolverine's entire life, everything from the trauma triggered by his claws to the creation of his son Daken, and the orchestration had happened by a shadowy foe named Romulus. Romulus saw Wolverine as his ultimate feral weapon, claiming to be the genetic progenitor of all wolf-like mutants like Sabretooth, Wildchild, and Wolverine. This wasn't just a physical fight. It was a profound psychological battle for Logan's free will. He had to confront the terrifying possibility that his whole life was a lie, a puppet show designed by a creature he never even knew existed. This arc is crucial because it explains why Logan is so paranoid and why he constantly fights against fate and control. Raises the stakes of his personal war to a grander level. Next, well, Logan dies for a while. Yeah, after losing his healing factor in the story Death of Wolverine, it shows him encased in adamantium, tragically ending his life in the same metal that made him unbreakable. Now, this is comics, so of course we know he's not going to stay gone forever. His return, detailed in The Return of Wolverine in 2018, brought him back with a strange, temporary power upgrade: hot claws. Suddenly, his adamantium claws were superhero and he could burn through things. This change was more thematic than practical. It symbolized the intensity of his trauma and the fire needing to bring him back from the brink. This arc reinforced his raw, primal nature and set the stage for his most peaceful era yet. The most significant event in Logan's recent history is the Krakoan era. For the first time, all mutantdom was united and living on the island of Krakoa. Think of it as a mutant utopia, a secure, flourishing nation. This was huge for Logan. He went from being the ultimate outsider, the lone wolf, to a core member of a nation. He was finally able to find a semblance of peace and belonging, fighting for a country that actually wanted him. He was a foundational X-Men helping to protect this new homeland. This finally resolved the narrative echo of being the ultimate outcast. So now we come to today. If you're a new reader and you're jumping in, it's a fantastic time. The Krakoan era has ended. It fell apart, and the world has entered a new status quo called From the Ashes. The mutant nation is gone, and the mutants were once again scattered and persecuted. But here's the thing. This new chaos actually suits Logan. He's back in his element as the hardened protector. He's been confirmed as a heavy hitter for the new flagship Uncanny X-Men team, fighting to gather and shepherd the scattered mutants. At the same time, his solo stories are returning to the basic. He's off the island and back on the streets, battling the remnants of the Weapon X program and facing off against classic enemies like Sabretooth. His current role is clear. He is the essential line of defense, a character whose entire history of survival and resilience is perfectly suited for this new, darker world. He's the ultimate soldier, ready for the next phase of war. So here's my final thought for you. We talked about his deep-seated trauma and his berserker rage. Do you think Logan will ever truly find peace? Or is his resilience simply a function of his pain? Can the animal ever truly be separated from the man? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for listening to this episode of Marvel Echoes. It's been great walking through the brutal, beautiful history of Logan. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of our daily episodes. Also, leave a comment and let me know what you would like to see next, whether it's X-Men, Avengers, or maybe Sabretooth. Until next time, true believers, make mine Marvel.